अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय शरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नमस्कार श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री राधा कुंड बिहारी गोपी गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोपाल की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Hare Krishna. Welcome to ISKCON Detroit Dev Sudan Mandir. Today Shrimadbhagavatam morning class. So today we are reading from Shrimadbhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13. Dhritarashtra quits home, text 22. So let us start with invocation prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Welcome to ISKCON.net. Shrimadbhagavatam morning class. So reading from Shrimadbhagavatam Canto 1, Chapter 13, entitled Dhritarashtra quits home, text 22. Andha Puraiva Vadiro Andha Puraiva Vadiro Andha Puraiva Vadiro Manda Pragnas Cha Sampratham Manda Pragnas Sampratham Vishirna Danto Mandagni Vishirna Danta Mandagni Vishirna Danto Mandagni Sharagaha Kafam Udvahan Sharagaha Kafam Udvahan Andha Puraiva Vadiro Manda Pragnasta Sampratam Vishirna Danto Mandagni Sharaga Kafamudvahan. Let's go word by word. Sorry, anyone would like to repeat? Andha Puraiva Vadiro Manda Pragyasta Sampratam Vishirna Danto Mandagni Sharagaha Kafamudvahan. Let us go word by word. Andha, blind. Pura, from the beginning. Eva, certainly. Vadira, hard of hearing. Manda Pragnai, very shortened. Cha, and Sampratam, recently. Vishirna, loosened. Danta, teeth. Mandagni, liver action decreased. Saragaha, with sound. Kafam, coughing much mucus. Udvahan, coming out. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Translation. You have been blind from your very birth, and recently you have become hard of hearing. Your memory is shortened and your intelligence is disturbed. Your teeth are loose, your liver is defective, and you are coughing up mucus. Please repeat. You have been blind from your very birth, and recently you have become hard of hearing. Your memory is shortened and your intelligence is disturbed. Your teeth are loose. Your liver is defective And you are coughing up mucus. Perfect. The symptoms of old age, which had already developed in Dhritarashtra, were all one after another pointed out to him as warning that death was nearing very quickly. And still, he was foolishly carefree about his future. The signs pointed out by Vidura in the body of Dhritarashtra were signs of apakshaya or dwindling of the material body before the last stroke of death. The body is born, it develops, stays, creates other bodies, dwindles, and then vanishes. But foolish men want to make a permanent settlement of the perishable body and think that their estate, children, society, country, etc. will give them protection. With such foolish ideas, they become overtaken by such temporary engagements and forget altogether that they must give up this temporary body and take a new one, again to arrange for another term of society, friendship and love, again to perish ultimately. They forget their permanent identity and become foolishly active for impermanent occupations. Forgetting altogether their prime duty, saints and sages like Vidura approach such foolish men to awaken them to the real situation, but they take such sadhus and saints as parasites of society, and almost all of them refuse to hear the words of such sadhus and saints. Although they welcome show bottle sadhus and so-called saints who can satisfy their senses, Vidura was not a sadhu to satisfy the ill-gotten sentiment of Dhritarashtra. He was correctly pointing out the real situation of life and how one can save oneself from such catastrophes. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svyam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamstam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostuti Tapta Kanchana Gaurani Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Vacha Padmitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Hare Krishna. So, yesterday we have seen how Vidura is conveying the importance of time, because he was saying to Dhritarashtra that your father, your brother, your well-wishers and sons are all dead and passed away. You yourself have expended the major portion of your life. Your body is now overtaken by invalidity and you are living in the home of another. So he was chastising Dhritarashtra in this way. And today he is focusing on his old age and the symptoms of old age and all the symptoms of old age and various things that are being influenced in continuing his life, and he was just focusing on bodily platform, and he was trying to convince Dhritarashtra to take up the spiritual path at least now. So this is a very powerful and direct verse stated by Vidura after returning from pilgrimage. He is seeing, like Vidura is seeing Dhritarashtra, who is still living comfortably, and he begins to remove that illusion of Dhritarashtra, because he doesn't want Dhritarashtra to go more worse and worse in his life. And this is not a soft instruction, but this is a strong wake-up call for Dhritarashtra. So, but we may think like, oh, this is for Dhritarashtra, Vidura is saying for Dhritarashtra, so why do we have to bother? But it's not only for Dhritarashtra, but it's for all of us. Because we are also attached to comforts in this material body, ignoring the time and wasting our time in various material sense gratification things, and also neglecting uncomfortable truths of the reality. So thus, Shrimadbhagavatam forces us to face reality, and it clearly depicts what is reality and what is illusion. So today we're gonna discuss mainly reality of the body, illusion of material attachment, and role of saints in waking us up. So starting with reality of the body, symptoms of decline. So, Vidura is telling Dhritarashtra, oh Dhritarashtra, you have been blind from very birth. Now even you are becoming deaf, like it's been hard for you to hear, and your memory is weak, it's shortened, and teeth are falling. Teeth are loose, and digestion is weak, like liver is defective, and you are coughing up mucus, like body is suffering with many diseases. He is listing all the symptoms to Dhritarashtra, not just to weaken him more or insult him, but in order to wake him up, awaken his Krishna consciousness, awaken his love for Krishna and his spiritual progress. So the main intention of Vidura saying this to Dhritarashtra and all of us is like, the body is temporary and is designated to decline one day or other. Because we all knew the 6 transformations that we undergo in this body, from birth, growth, maintenance, producing byproducts, decline, and eventually leading to death. As we see these transformations even in Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 2, text 13, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yamvanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhirastatra namuhyati. So here, soul passes from boyhood to youth to adult to old age. So now Dhritarashtra, after observing all the symptoms, we understand that Dhritarashtra is now in decline stage. So one may ask, like, do we see these symptoms around us? Like, yes. Now, we may not see in ourselves especially right now, but we may in our society around us, in a family or elsewhere, we can see like parents are aging, grandparents are like getting weaker, and even our own body is changing after every 7 years. Like, if you can see your picture when you are childhood and now, it's a lot of change in your face, in your bodily expression, in your body features and all. So that indicates like our body is also changing. So if we take a simple analogy, our day-to-day life, in our day-to-day life, we use mobile phone. When we buy a new phone, how fast it is and how smooth it is to handle it. But after a few years, like after 2 years or 3 years or more, slowly battery drains fast, and it does not perform that much good as that of new one. The performance gets slowed, and eventually one after the other, the mobile gives you trouble, like the screen may not be visible properly, and the touch may not work, or some of the apps may not install, and there would be no updates on your software. So eventually this mobile gets lost, it loses its effectiveness and functionalities, because we know that someday or other this mobile is just throwing, because after a few years nobody would like to use a slow phone, or it's getting hanged when we use some apps, or it is very hard to even call others, because we don't get shocked, because we expect it, because we know after seeing many mobile phones around us, we may also understand, okay, my phone may also stop working after 3-4 years, then what is the thing? Similarly, we should connect this with our body. Our body also gets old aged and is affected by disease. So, but in our case, in the case of our body, we act surprisingly. Oh, I will be living forever young, and I will be living forever in this material world. But that is not the scenario. If we take this birth in this material world, we are accustomed to face the death one day or other. If it is not today, tomorrow. So we even in our modern society, we see many people around us, they invest in gym, food and comfort. But still, even though they invest lot of energy, lot of time, lot of money in it, but eventually one day they have to surpass the old age, they have to eventually pass through the stage of death. No matter how much maintenance, breakdown is guaranteed. As we see in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 13, body is always changing, like from childhood to youth, youth to adult to old age. So the person is same, but there is different bodies. So the soul is present in the same body, but the body after it gets into youth to old age to adult to old age, and eventually at old age we all see how many people gets disease. Only few rare people, they were healthy even during that age, but many people, majority of the people get many dreadful diseases. They are unable to walk properly, they are unable to sit properly, they are unable to eat properly, they are unable to even see or hear properly. Similarly, here in the case of Dhritarashtra, Vidura was explaining all these symptoms. So one of the key aspects of the section is, wise person understands body is temporary only, and foolish person realizes only at the end, and wise person realizes it as soon as possible in that very life, and the foolish person may realize it at the time of death. What I have done in this life, I have simply wasted my life in just hankering for many material attachments and material opulences, which are very temporary and which doesn't give me ultimate happiness. So we have to be wise and sharpen our intelligence and progress more and more in the path of bhakti. So next comes is illusion of material attachment. So even after hearing all this, even after seeing the war, even after seeing his own sons getting died in this war, but Dhritarashtra is still attached to kingly royal opulence, and he is staying in still the kingdom. So one may question, okay, once after he hears that his sons lost the war, why can't he leave that kingdom as soon as possible? The thing is attachment. Attachment causes that any person to behave in a very weird and strange way, and the intelligence is being covered when you are overly attached to material things. And also he's he's under the protection of Maharaj Yudhishthira, so people may think like, not only Dhritarashtra but many people, they may think like, oh, my family is there, they will protect me for sure. My money, whatever I have acquired the wealth in my lifetime, that will protect me eventually. And my position, name, fame, one day it will certainly rescue me. But in reality, nothing can save you from old age, disease, death. So, at death, even you can't even carry anything, not even a single cloth even, which is upon you. Just you carry along with you, you can carry just mind intelligence and some impressions upon this life. So this attachment blinded the intelligence of Dhritarashtra, and so he was still attached to the royal opulences, and he was still living under the protection of King Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira has no obligation of sending away Dhritarashtra because he is very righteous person and he's a king now. So his prime responsibility is to protect his citizens and also his relatives. So, if we consider a common example that we observe in day-to-day life, when you go on for a trip or a place, you take the lodge or hotel to stay for your accommodation. You stay in hotel or a room for 2 days, but would anyone be fight for ownership? And would anyone decorate that room heavily? Oh, I'm there for 2 days, I should decorate it as much as possible. Would anyone think like that? They just go stay for 1 or 2 days, or else 3, whatever the short duration of their trip. They just stay there and they just experience that and just come back. But if we relate to our life, people doesn't think that, oh, I am temporarily in this material world. They think like, oh, I am permanent in this material world. Let me enjoy this body to the fullest extent. So they develop this permanent attachment towards the body and they commit more and more sinful actions. So when we see the cycle goes like this, we first build relationships, we become attached, and we lose everything at death, and again we take the new body, take the birth again in this material world, and we start again building relationships, attachment, and again the cycle goes on. This loop keeps repeating, and this is samsara. Samsara. Samsara in the sense, this material world is like cycle of birth and death. Once after you take birth, obviously it leads to old age, disease and death. And again after death, if you are not utilizing this life in order to serve Krishna and to properly understand your constitutional position as eternal servitor of Supreme Lord, still you're gonna accumulate more and more karma. Based on your karma, you may get a degraded life in the next life, or you may elevate to a higher platform. So one may question what are we most attached today? So people may hanker for beauty, strength, name, fame, wealth, and also their assets and their job. Some people are workaholic, like working a lot, day and night, and they are overly attached to the work. Whatever, they are very passionate in doing that. Relationships, comfort, but if we think all this, would they all stay permanently with us? No. Eventually, one day or other, we ourselves, we do not stay in this body forever in this material world. Then what to think of all those additional attachments to us? So, one may question, like, is it a problem to have all these things in our life? The problem is not having things, but developing the attachment towards them and depending on them for security. So attachment without knowledge causes suffering, and spiritual knowledge gives us the freedom. So let us all take to the path of spiritual knowledge and try to understand our real position as eternal servitor of Supreme Love, and try to render some service to Sri Radha Kunj Bihari, and whatever way you can, like you can serve, you can help the devotees, you can serve the temples, and whatever you can afford. And if you cannot visit temples, if you are far away from the temples, you can simply invite your dear ones to your home, and you can keep some discussions on glories of Supreme Lord, and you can arrange some feast dinner for them, you can offer it to the Supreme Lord, and you can honor it with everyone, so that everyone will be getting engaged and associated. So now comes is the role of saints, which is who gives us the wake-up call. And here we understand the intention and mood of Vidura. Vidura is not speaking sweetly. He is speaking the truth, the harsh reality. Some say like real compassion is not always soft, because we see at sometimes our parents are also not that soft towards us, because their intention is to correct us and make us more understanding and be perfect in our life. So here we understand there are two types of sadhus, like show bottle sadhus, who speak what people like. So they, whatever pleasing words that people want to hear, they speak that only. And they encourage comfort, and they eventually gain popularity by all doing this all nonsense activities. And next category is the real sadhus, who speak truth, whatever it might be. They stick on to speaking truth, and they try to break the illusion and try to get that living entity or soul out of the illusion. And not many people are liking this sadhus, because they always speak truth, they doesn't even care for comfort, they break out the illusion from us, because they are on that transcendental platform and they don't want anyone to suffer, so they try very hard, as we see the examples of our acharyas and the Shad Goswamis and Srila Prabhupada, how strong they were in condemning various comforts as well as various other principles which are deviating us from the spiritual path. And if we try to compare this analogy with a regular thing like doctor example, a good doctor gives perfect and correct diagnosis, which if followed correctly, the disease will be cured in prescribed time, I mean estimated time by doctor. If a doctor says, okay, you take this medicine each 1 dose per day, and you can take this for 7 days or 10 days, and after that if the disease is not still under control or cured, you can again come back to me, I will check up then. And he gives the bitter medicine all the times. When one may question, oh, why this doctor gave me bitter medicine? Because he knew that the disease that you have will be cured by that bitter medicine itself. And this is one category of doctors. And the other categories of doctors is like, they only gives sweets, chocolates to their patients, which causes more and more trouble to the patients. And the health of the patient gets more worse, and doctor is nevertheless taking care of them afterwards. So here, Vidura resembles like a real doctor to King Dhritarashtra and all of us. So, one may question, oh, okay, we understand the truth. So why in general people don't accept this truth? Why they reject this? Because the truth that is being spoken by our acharyas and many saintly personalities hurts our ego, and our comfort is being disturbed. We are they state us to be in a zone which is not of our comfort. So which is like our comfort is being disturbed, and eventually people don't want to change themselves rapidly upon hearing few instructions. So one of the key point to take here is like real growth begins when we accept uncomfortable truth. So we even in the path of devotional service or Krishna consciousness, we realize the things slowly. Eventually, upon reading the books, chanting, if we try to chant more and more intensely without committing any offenses, Krishna reveals himself slowly. One day, you, after clearing the dust that is been formed on the mirror of the heart, then you can see your actual reflection on who you are, the soul, how are you connected to Krishna, and what is your eternal abode. So it will all be revealed one day. So hopefully we will all take the path of bhakti seriously and try to chant our rounds in a perfect manner without any offenses, and which gives us various enormous benefits of realizing ourselves, like self-realization. We understand who we are and we try to act accordingly. And I would like to summarize today's class by stating these few points. Like, body is temporary and declining, and attachments are temporary and very misleading. And saints or saintly personalities guide us to the reality. And time is running, like life is too short, and we should not delay our spiritual progress or path of devotion. And this body is not permanent. We should use this body as a tool to serve Krishna more and more, but don't identify with it fully. And detachment is a necessary thing. Detachment to material things is necessary, and we must accept the shelter and guidance of spiritual master, who shows us the valuable path and many strong lessons to take from that. And also we should not forget who we are. We are the spirit soul, and we are the part and parcel of Krishna, and we have to, and we get more and more pleasure in serving Krishna more than we serve ourselves, and because we are servant of Krishna. So the one last analogy to close is like, when we observe a train journey, everyone is traveling. There are various different situations, but eventually when the train reaches a station, everyone gets down, whoever destination is aligning with that station. So similarly, wise person prepares for his destination right in a very early stage of his life, and still and he manages even to surpass the death, and with his pure devotion, he may even attain the Golok Vrindavan, spiritual planet as well. So, yeah, I would like to conclude this class by this. And if you have any questions, comment, realizations about this verse, this is very unique, because many symptoms that we even see in our day-to-day life that are being shown here, like we see many old age people, they get diseased, their teeth are not good, they cannot see properly, they cannot hear properly, they cannot walk properly. So in that period of life, what devotion, what action can we take? So we need to take up this process as soon as possible in a very young age, and try to do as much as possible, because in old age there is no guarantee that, oh, I will be there and I will be chanting smoothly, no problem, whatever the age it is. No, we don't know. We may get some disease, we may face many difficulties even to chant one round. So whenever we are healthy and whenever we can have the ability to do service, we must take that opportunity. So thank you. Hare Krishna.
As you nicely explained, like we were also going through Saturday, was Sukkar Samay Kritva Lava, so that was also like, because of the pleasantness and unpleasantness you get attachment, right? Same thing, like because of the pleasant and unpleasantness of the palace. He can't leave the palace even all his sons are died, all his well-wishers were dead.
Yeah.
Just because of the comfort of the palace, so it's very nicely explained. Thank you so much.
Grantraj Shrimadbhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna.